Hello, and welcome back to Spittin Sports with Lamar. I am Casey Lamar, and I'm coming at you from the 256. Today, in this video, I will be talking about the Pac-12 conference. This conference, for the people that don't know, is split into two divisions, the North and the South. We will start with the North. The North is made up of the California Golden Bears, the Oregon Ducks, the Oregon State Beavers, the Stanford Cardinal no S, the Washington Huskies, and the Washington State Cougars. Excuse me. The South Side is made up of the Arizona State Sun Devils, the Arizona Wildcats, the Colorado Buffaloes, the UCLA Bruins, the USC Trojans, and the Utah Utes. There's only two notable games I want to mention for Week 1 this week. You've got the big one, probably the biggest game of the weekend. Both of these games do take place on Saturday, September 1st. But the probably biggest game of the entire weekend, you have the number 6 Washington Huskies taking on the number 9 Auburn Tigers. 2:30 p.m. Central Time, ABC, Mercedes-Benz Superdome in Atlanta, Georgia. Washington loses, it's probably the season. They have to prove that they beat somebody outside of the conference. And starting off against number 9 Auburn, a team that is definitely capable of making the playoffs, they got to win. Washington basically has to win to make the playoffs. But I know Washington's been getting a lot of love. A lot of people think they'll win. But I don't know. Two good quarterbacks, Browning, Stidham. Going to be a battle between the quarterbacks, but the defenses are going to play a big part too. Two stout defenses there in that game. But huge game. Probably biggest one of the weekend. Washington, Auburn. And then another one, I mentioned this in my ACC video. You do have North Carolina traveling to play the California Golden Bears. Just two Power 5 conference teams. Could be a big start to their seasons to get a win against another Power 5 team. But that game will be at 3 o'clock Central Time on Fox at Memorial Stadium in Berkeley, California. But that was really it that I saw out of the Pac-12. In the North Carolina, California game's kind of stretching it. But they do have the biggest game of the weekend with Washington Auburn. But dark horse, which I think this should be a lot of people's dark horse pick, Arizona. Khalil Tate, I just got two names. Khalil Tate and Kevin Sumlin. Kevin Sumlin with a mobile quarterback. He's been good with quarterbacks in general, but with mobile quarterbacks, Johnny Manziel, Trevor Knight ran for almost 700 yards. Kyler Murray was the second leading rusher the 1 year he was there. He's been very, very good quarterbacks, but very, very good with quarterbacks that can run the ball. But I really think these two, they could be headaches for almost anybody that they play, not just the Pac-12, for almost anybody. Because Khalil Tate, seen as a runner, he ran for almost 1,600 yards as a quarterback last year. I think he ran for as much as he threw for. Just absolutely crazy. Be looking for him to run, then maybe he'll pop up and throw one. It's gonna be an interesting season, I think, out of Arizona. Because if they find a way to beat USC, I think the South is theirs, to be honest. But we've seen a lot of teams come out of nowhere. Colorado a couple years ago, they made it to the championship game. So it will be very, very interesting to see Arizona this year. I'm really looking for them because a lot of times I'm still up. I'll watch those West Coast games. I know a lot of people talk about the East Coast, don't care, but I'm usually awake and I usually will be watching those games because it's football. Can't get enough of it. But Arizona, I do look for them to win some games, maybe spring a couple upsets. It'll be a very interesting season. But if they beat USC, I think they win the South. But my North winner, I know a lot of people might disagree with this, Stanford. They win the games they have to. They have a very tough schedule. They have to play Notre Dame. They obviously have to play Washington. They have to play Oregon. They have to play USC. USC week 2. But at Stanford, I could really see them running the table. They might They might lose one. It's a very tough schedule, but I think Stanford gets in to the Pac-12 championship game. And my South winner is USC. Overall talent level, uh, just because of the talent level, the recruits and the players that they bring in, that should be enough for them to almost win the South, to be honest. Um, just the recruits should be enough to win the South. But like I said, look out for Arizona. Um, but they just have to win their division. That's all they got to do. Uh, Playing for national title, I don't think that's in the cards for USC. But have to watch the games to find out. But I got Stanford, USC, Pac-12 championship game. But I do have Stanford winning that. Bryce Love is going to carry Stanford so far this year on his back. I'm not saying win a national title far. I'm just saying the load that he's going to carry is going to be a lot, and he's going to do a lot with it. Like I said, Pac-12 champion. That's what I expect this season from the Pac-12. Obviously, they do have an established quarterback now, KJ Costello. I think he does make enough plays to take some pressure off of Bryce Love through the air in both the Pac-12 championship game, but throughout the season to win the games that they got to. But are they headed to the playoffs after that? I don't know. It will be close between, like I said in my Big 12 video, it will be close between the Big 12 and Pac-12 in my opinion to see who goes to the playoff, if either. It wouldn't surprise me if we had two people from the same conference again. I know that they want to avoid that, but we will just have to see. But Stanford, for me, they are your Pac-12 champions this year. Bryce Love, Heisman candidate. He's going to do a lot of good things for Stanford this year. So is quarterback KJ Costello. But that is it for the Pac-12. Stanford is your winner for me this season. But remember, if you did enjoy this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. But this has been Spittin' Sports with Lamar. I am Casey Lamar, and I'd like to thank you guys all for watching my Power 5 conference previews. Thank you, and let's get this season started.